Reference images within Maya are useful to kind of judge the proportions of your object when you start modeling. When you're new to modeling, it's a little challenging to just start with a cube and then start making stuff over here, which is why it's good practice to bring in some sort of reference image to get you started. You can bring in more detailed reference images. You can take pictures of objects that you'd like to model from the front, side, and any other view you'd like to include, or you can find reference images online. To bring them in, we are going to go to the orthographic views that we took a look at earlier. So I'm going to click on spacebar and I'm going to start from the side view. So I'm going to click on this view by clicking spacebar again. And if you go to this menu right above the workspace, you'll see this little icon called image plane. So if I hover over it, you can see that it says image plane. I'm going to click on this. And remember that project that we created earlier? Maya's automatically taken us to that project. We are in test project and source images, and I've brought in my reference image file in this folder. So Maya's taken us there really conveniently, and I'm going to click on this file and say open. When I bring this reference image file in, I'm going to resize it. Maybe you can make it bigger or smaller depending on what you want. And I'm going to bring this above this line. So this line right here, this thicker line, it corresponds to this line right here, which indicates that we are above the ground. So imagine this grid in Maya as the ground, and we want to model stuff about this ground most of the time. So that's just to keep stuff organized. A lot of times when we're modeling for animation, you're going to give your files to other people. So we just want to make sure that we're modeling everything where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to click on spacebar again. And we're on side X, which is the right view. I'm just going to delete this cube for now. And since we're on side X, I'm going to bring in the side view over here. I'm going to get this, so I'm going to make sure I have my side view above the line, above the origin line, and kind of try to bring this image to the center. So uh, the image plane is not at the center, but this side view is at the center of the Maya window. Now that we have our side view, I want to bring in my front view. So I'm going to click on front and click on the image plane again. And this time, instead of focusing on my side view, I'm going to focus on this view right here. I'm going to bring that to the top and bring this also to the center. So sometimes reference images have the center marked, sometimes they don't, but you always want to try to bring it to the center of your object. You can also work on making these planes more convenient to work with. So as you can see, we have them where we want them in the side and the front view, but we don't have them uh, in a very convenient place at the center. So this is where you want your model to go, and you don't want to have these planes blocking the way. Before we continue, actually, you'll notice that I scaled this when we started off, and now these planes are different sizes. We do not want that. We want them to be the same size. So I'm just going to click on this one that I scaled and scale this back down to 1 and just reposition that so that it's kind of at a similar place as the other image plane. So since we're going to be referencing both of these views to model this object, we don't want them to be different sizes. We always want our object to be the same size in both these images. So let's see what else we can do to make this more convenient to work with. One thing we can do is, now I'm on the side view, I can move this image back in space so that it's still visible in the side view, but it's not blocking this center. And I can do the same to this one, still in the same position, but I'm just moving it back in space. So that's an option, and if you want to leave it like this, you can. But if you also want to not have it be visible in this view, just click on the image plane, and If you go to the attribute editor, this is the first time we're looking at the attribute editor, and this has some more options for this image. So I can click on display at the very top. So you see by default it's at in all views. I can change this to looking through camera, and then you'll only be able to see this image from the front camera. I can do the same thing for the side one and click on that. So you won't have this image in the perspective, but you'll have it in the view that you need it. You can always go back and change this. So anytime you select the image, you can go back, change it to in all views. You can change it through looking through camera whenever you want to do that.